When one motocross season ends and before the next begins, we have the Supercross season, where the very best motocross riders in the world compete around the world in a series of Supercross events. This, the Paris Bercy event, one of the very, very hottest events on the calendar, has attracted a whole host of top American talent, a whole host of European talent, and I have to say that the Europeans are now coming into their own very much in this fast and furious sport of Supercross, the indoor packaged version of motocross for the masses. You can see the nature of the terrain. 2,000 cubic meters of earth have come in here, 200 lorry loads to provide this spectacle. The circuit built and designed by the John Savitsky, the American, who is renowned for his expertise in building of specialist Supercross circuits. This year, for the first time at Paris, the riders actually leave the arena through the service tunnel to re-enter again, and we have 125s and 250s on the program. The first time we will see 125s in World Supercross action. 125s on the line for their first heat. The basic formula of the event: we have heats going into repechage and a grand final. The event to be run over 4 nights, and what we're bringing you in tonight's program is the very best of the action from Saturday's event, and that was indeed the best night of the series. So a whole host, 11 nations taking part. Obviously the French will be rooting for their own men, but don't ignore Warren Edwards, the young Brit. Don't ignore Rob Herring, and of course the Americans have lifted this title in the 8-year history of the Paris Bercy Supercross. 9 laps then, the heat. Watch the gate, it drops towards the riders, very tense at this time. They're away, hurtling into the spotlights, down towards the tabletop and the first turn. Riders already running wide, but looking to pick up our leader at the first turn, high in the middle. Brian Swink, the American from Michigan, riding number 7, is in the thick of the action. Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki and Honda machinery, and 2 of the Americans riding KTM. But the race leader on the Kawasaki from El Cajon in California, Mike Craig, number 9. They're riding number 28, pushing hard around the outside, Bruno Guillard, one of the French favorites. But Craig it is leading. Brian Swink, fellow countryman, number 7, in second. Kawasaki leads Honda at this stage in the race, and it's a very short race, just 9 laps. The riders have to go hard from the gate and establish some sort of lead and get into the flowing pattern under the tunnel. Craig then it is. In 3rd place, it's number 16. That's young Warren Edwards on the Yamaha from Great Britain. So Warren Edwards in 3rd. Americans lead in 1st and 2nd. Brian Swink, number 7, on the Honda. He's going hard. We've not seen too much of him, but he's only 17 years of age, this young man, and a brilliant future ahead of him. Swink pushing hard. Craig it is, number 9. So Mike Craig, 20 years of age, one of the Supercross specialists from North America, has ridden well in the 250cc World Outdoor Motocross Championship, but by golly, he's good at this stuff. But he's having to fight off a challenge now from Swink, and Swink goes through on the outside. Craig fighting back, but Swink it is on the Honda. 2 lengths already. Craig nearly a get-off there as his right foot came from the footrest. So Brian Swink, number 7, just 17 years of age, from Michigan. His first big victory just last year, the amateur race in the USA, was the first title that this youngster lifted, but already now he's got 5 or 6 bike lengths over Craig, and Craig is pushing hard, but it looks as though Swink is going to get this one. They're opening up that gap now over the 3rd place man. There's the race leader. Swink it is then, looking in super control. Craig high over the tabletop behind him. Almost a sticky moment there for Swink. He hit that one straight-legged and it nearly popped him over the handlebars. Craig, a precautionary dab with the left leg, takes 2 in 1. He's really giving the Kawasaki the gas now as Swink goes hard away from him, but Craig hasn't given up. He's fighting back, and if this is typical of the action we've got from Bercy this evening, then it's going to be an action-packed program. This is only the first heat. What promise there is to come. 10,000 spectators cramming their way into this stadium, and some of them have bought season tickets for the all 4 nights of the action at something in the region of £15 per evening. So that's a lot of money. Retiring there Bob Moore, the Austrian-based KTM rider from the USA. So Moore's race is over, but still Mike Craig, number 9, in second place, chasing hard and swing over the handlebars. The youngster overcooked it. Well, 17 years of age only, and he was getting a little bit excited there. Mike Craig can't believe his good fortune. And second place now, Warren Edwards, riding number 16, is closing. Well, young Swink just couldn't hold on to the speed of the Honda. Craig was putting him under pressure. Look, the battle further down the order, still raging now. Denny Stevenson on the Suzuki, all the way from Nebraska. And remember, the Americans consider Supercross to be their sport. It's their privilege to win. Whether they're in Europe or not makes no difference at all. Right, Stevenson, number 5, riding number 22 right behind him, the 17-year-old Frenchman, Fred Bolley, who's captured the imagination of the French supporters. Young Fred Bolley, who started his career on Honda, now on Yamaha, pushing hard. Number 11 there, Greg Albertine, the South African. So the action fast and furious here at Bercy. Denny Stevenson, 20 years of age, number 5, right with him still, young Fred Bolley, the young lad who looks just like any French backstreet kid with hair down to his shoulders and a spotty complexion, but by golly, he can ride a motorcycle, and he's right up amongst the very best in the Supercross world now. Fred Bolley, 22. There ahead of him, Stevenson. So Stevenson could well succumb to this young Frenchman being urged on by the local crowd here, giving him tremendous support. And just how important it is, you can hear the crowd for yourselves. On the last lap then, 8 laps under his belt, just something in the region of 600 meters now for Mike Craig to do, the race leader. Flicks it round, the left-hander hooks it up through the gearbox on the last lap. The marshal there indicating the one finger is up. I hope Mike Craig doesn't take that to mean something rude. There's the checkered flag then. Mike Craig gets the win. Greg Albertine, number 11, fights up to second place. That will mean Warren Edwards, number 16, is in third. And as for the rest of them, your guess is as good as mine. Craig then, a super win, handed to him on a plate when Swink went over the handlebars. Confirmation then of that result. Craig it was, Albertine Edwards, Bruno Guillard and Denny Stevenson got 5th. Further down the order, remember, 11 riders started this race. Those are the top 5. They will go through into the final. Fred Bolley just misses out, but he might go through as the fastest Frenchman. Swink remounted to get 7th. If Heat 2 can live up to the promise, then it's going to be a scorcher. Number 8, the man in your picture, Jeff Emig, another of these much fancied Americans. The technology in the machinery here, they have enormous suspension travel to cope with the enormous bumps. There you see the riders lined up. Van Drunen Dewitt, Vaillancourt, Opillard, Mike Healy, another European-based American. Stefan Everts, watch for him, number 2, son of the famous Harry Everts, riding Suzuki. So look for Everts, number 2. We expect big things from him as the gate goes 9 laps again. Watch the gate. Off they go, heading for the first left-hander. And they are all safely around, says he, with bated breath. Yes, they are indeed. High over the second jump, clearing it with ease. Everts going the long way round. In the right of your picture now is number 3, Rob Herring, the Briton from Northampton. So Rob Herring, the 125cc British champion, former 250cc British champion, 5th in the World Series this year, Rob Herring. A great start from Herring. He's been known to suffer with forearm problems. The forearms pump up at Supercross early in the season, and he's been quoted as saying that it often happens in his first Supercross meeting. Let's hope he can hold it together in this heat. He certainly needs to make the top 5. Number 8 then, Jeff Emig from Montana, going very well in pursuit of Rob Herring. Emig right away now, and right with him, number 6, Buddy Antunes, another American. So the Americans really dominating this one. No sign of Herring, so Herring has gone. New race leader, Jeff Emig. So an American leads, 20 years of age, Jeff Emig leads. From Antunez, Buddy Antunez from California, the junior champion, started his career on mini bikes, is in second place. So the USA in first and second. And a bated breath again because it's Everts. Herring is still out in front. Antunez, Everts is off. Stefan Everts is down. That was an unlucky fall and not a very typical fall for Stefan Everts. He's got to go now if he's going to get in the top 5 because the battle is really on at the front of the pack. The two Americans locked in the battle for second place as Herring is away. Herring has something like 50 meters lead. You can see it for yourself. This the battle for second and third between Jeff Emig and fellow countryman Buddy Antunez, and Antunez going the long way around the outside. Emig then closes the door, moves across. There's no time to do it in. They only have 9 laps in total, and we're already halfway into this second heat of the 125s. The crowd absolutely thrilling to this one as Rob Herring almost threw the thing away just in your picture there, but he stayed on. Second and third place is where it's at. High goes Emig, and Emig almost threw it away again, so he's down to third. He got that one wrong. Antunez has gone through. Now can Antunez, number 6, catch Rob Herring ahead of him? Herring's on Suzuki, Antunez is on Suzuki. There he is in your picture now, and jumping away from us, right at the bottom right-hand side, is Rob Herring. The gap is closing all the time. Antunez really piling on the coals now. He performed very well on the first 2 nights of the event. He's really weighed up this circuit and going perfectly. Number 6 then, Buddy Antunez on the Suzuki in second place now. Emig, number 8, is down to third. That's the gap. Race leader, number 3, Rob Herring. On the last lap, Antunez now closing in, number 6. Rob Herring, number 3, ahead of him. It could go to Antunez this time if he can just squeeze a bit more out of the Suzuki. And wind Herring in. All those 14 inches of suspension travel helping Herring, but Antunez is closing. He's on the inside. Herring gets it though, the checkered flag. Rob Herring from Northampton, 22 years of age, takes the win in Heat 2. Jeff Emig, number 8, comes over in third. And Stefan Everts, number 2, indeed, 4th place and goes through to the final. But what a great race. One more lap, and it might have been a totally different story. But Rob Herring it is, spectacular as always. What a superstar this young man is, and what a bright future he has ahead of him. He took the win from Antunez, Jeff Emig. Stefan Everts goes through. Vial and Marcel van Runen from Holland, but Vial is the last qualifier. Waiting then for the lower order, there it is, Obelisco Opillard, Jerome Belvel, Mike Healy. Well, we saw Healy do some funny things, but 11th, not a good result at all. I can't wait until the final. The tension is building in the stadium. The crowd, too, anticipate that tremendous duel in the final. But coming up after the break, we have the 250s. The first time we will see the 250s round here. Will they indeed be as good as the 125s? Join us again after the break. Welcome back to the Bercy Stadium in Paris for our first glimpse of the 250cc heats, where the local favourite Jean-Michel Bayle is hoping to wrest away the title and in fact break the total American domination which has been held on this event in its 8-event history. Watching him in the audience as a point of interest is the newly crowned French sidecar road race champion Alain Michel. So he's come along here to Paris to see how the other half lives over the rough stuff. No sidecars, of course, on Supercross. That would indeed be an interesting spectacle. But this is going to be good indeed, because Jean-Michel Bayle will really have his work cut out. These are the runners. 9 laps, I remind you, will be the distance. The men to look for: Yves de Maria, Mike Kudrowski, Pekka Vähkönen, of course, 4 times second place. Look for Jeff Stanton and Doug Dubac. Pekka Vähkönen, the Finn, 4 times second place, I was saying, in the World 250cc Motocross Championship. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But can Pekka Vähkönen pull it off this time? 9 laps the distance. Heat 1 then of the 250s. Busy action down to the first turn. Something like 12 riders go all round, and as I say, all round safely. Somebody upends it very neatly, but we're waiting to pick up the leader as they swing high and wide. It's number 4 on the Kawasaki, Mike Kudrowski from America, 21 years of age. Kudrowski, he's not really a Supercross specialist. He likes to do the outdoor motocross, but he does come here to Europe in the closed season, or the silly season as some people call it, and have a go at Supercross. But he's leading this one. He did win a race at Geneva last year. Can he do it again here? Kudrowski leading then, number 4. In second place, but only just, it's number 20, and that's Bernd Eckenbach from Germany. So the German in second place. Kudrowski leads. Jeff Stanton, number 1, is there in 4th, trying to make it 3rd. Number 33 in 3rd place, Philippe Gailly, a Frenchman. So a lot of support for Gailly. The 250 action just a little bit diluted in comparison to the 125s, but wait until we get deeper into the program and you'll see just how quickly these 250 boys go. Kudrowski then. Mike Kudrowski, number 4, leading the race from Canyon Country, California. So many of these Americans come from the West Coast. Jeff Stanton is from Michigan. He's in 3rd place now and pushing hard, but the battle is now alive for the lead, because really thrusting forward, the German Eckenbach, number 20, is making a bid for glory here. He's only 19, so still a teenager, and really forcing on. And that's him doing an about turn. He was facing the wrong way, so Eckenbach, his challenge for the lead is gone. And right up into the front running now goes Stanton, number 1, in second place. There he is in your picture. Kudrowski on the Kawasaki. Team Green Kawasaki, number 4, leads. Jeff Stanton, a previous winner and a member of the victorious USA Motocross to Nations team, very much the more experienced of the two Americans, is in second place and closing. Stanton on the Honda. Then it's number 33, Gailly, the Frenchman. So a lot of success for Gailly in this, the first heat of the 250s. We are with Stanton, number 1, going through. Then it's Gailly, number 33. A long, long way further down the order comes the 4th place man, but Stanton now closing. He's taking the tight line. He's really winding in Kudrowski. Stanton from Michigan, Athens in Michigan. A lot of experience under his belt in his tender 22 years, and all these 125 and 250cc runners are fairly junior. Supercross is not an old man's sport by any stretch of the imagination. They have to be super fit. They have to have lightning reflexes because it is such short, sharp action, and the bumps come up so quickly, the bends come up so quickly, and in the blinking of an eye, the rider can be off the bike. But we're looking now at the battle for first place between the Kawasaki mounted number 4, Mike Kudrowski, and number 1, Jeff Stanton, both from the USA. And it's my money for Stanton, I think, because he's winding in the Kawasaki teamster very effectively indeed, with a little over 2/3 of the race distance done. Number 39 in your picture there, Cyril Portal, another local favourite, the French really rooting for him. There's the 3rd place man, Philippe Gailly. There's Portal, he's in 4th, number 39. So Kawasaki's in 1st and 4th places, Honda's in 2nd and 3rd. Portal having a lonely ride in 4th, but he's high in your picture, handling it nicely. There will have been no opportunity for any of these French riders to have had any unofficial practice on the circuit. The lead has changed hands. Stanton has gone past Kudrowski, so the Honda rider Jeff Stanton has gone through into the lead. The 250 amateur champion in 1985 and 86 in the USA. He won the Geneva Supercross in 1988. He's won this event as well at Bercy, loves Bercy, knows his way around the stadium. The only man likely to threaten him in this race would have been Kudrowski, and that challenge now appears to be fading because Stanton is now some 5 or 6 bike lengths ahead of Mike Kudrowski. who in turn is slipping back ever so slightly into the clutches of Philippe Gay. But second place looks assured now for Kudrowski. The first 5 go through, so he's not about to break his neck in this one. He knows and is safe in the knowledge that he's into the final. Up goes the hand to the crowd. Jeff Stanton storming in now with the win. Cyril Portal, number 39. Right with him, number 9, is Yves de Maria from Marseille. So that's what the excitement is about in 4th and 5th place. It's the battle of the 2 Frenchmen. Portal, number 39, Yves de Maria rushed at him from the inside, but stayed on 2 wheels. He's having another go. Cyril Portal might just have to give up that 4th place if de Maria can maintain this sort of momentum. De Maria, number 9. There he is, the man who rode in the 125cc World Championship and led so many races, only to throw the thing away, has moved up into 4th place as Jeff Stanton takes the win. High in the air then on the Honda, Jeff Stanton unchallenged once he got past Mike Kudrowski, waiting now for the Kawasaki Teamster. They're coming over Edwin Evertson. These two had a battle royal. De Maria, what a great ride he had. He nearly took Philippe Gay at the flag, so what a fight through for the Marseille-based Frenchman. First Portal, then Philippe Gay fell under the De Maria hammer. A great result, the French crowd love it. But Stanton, scintillating as ever, took a very convincing win in Heat 1 of the 250s. So let's take a look then at the caption. Let's tell you who went through. The top 5 qualify, remember, for the final. Stanton Kudrowski, Philippe Gay, Yves de Maria, a brave ride for 4th, and Olivier Perrin clinched 5th and the final qualification. See where Cyril Portal finished. He was pushed further down. He was running 4th for quite some time and in fact didn't finish on the leaderboard. So Portal must have fallen in the dying stages of that race. Expectation building here for Heat 2 of the 250s. This one will feature the French favourite Jean-Michel Bayle, the former 125cc and 250cc world champion, based in the USA, making a bid to win here in his home event at Paris, the Bercy Stadium, having been stunning on the first 2 nights of the Supercross here, lifting both finals. So if he can only win this one, it does pretty well mean that the Supercross title, the King of Bercy, will go to Jean-Michel Bayle, but he has a long way to go. This is only the heat. From New Zealand, Daryl King, 17 years of age, and 17 is his number. Thierry Betis as well. Look for Strybos, Edwin Evertson. And there, the bottom, number 8, Jean-Michel Bayle, the local favourite, has to tussle with Jeff Ward as well. 9 laps then the distance. This will be a blinder. Creeping forwards towards the gate. It's no good touching the gate because it won't go down. If you touch it, your section stays up. And away they go. A stunning start by Bayle. Jean-Michel Bayle stays tight, but he's not in front. He's side by side, disputing the lead with number 35, and that's Philippe Betis. So Frenchmen first and second, and the crowd love it. Just listen to them. Jean-Michel Bayle, number 8, leads. Betis, it is in second place. Both Honda mounted. In third place, it's another Honda. That looks like number 18, Jean-Charles Tonus, the Swiss. But there's the race leader, Jean-Michel Bayle. Just 21 years of age, and what a brilliant career this young Frenchman has had. Number 5, it is now up to third, Guy Cooper, nicknamed Airtime, all the way from Oklahoma. Guy Cooper, who won the Supercross at Geneva at the end of last season. Trying to do something special here, had fairly good rides on the first 2 nights, but he's going to have to go if he's going to get up into second place in the heat and earn the points. Airtime, Guy Cooper, number 5 on the Suzuki, going the long way round, and he's up to second. He now has a clear track ahead of him if he wants to have a go at the number 8 race leader, Jean-Michel Bayle. Number 3 coming up, challenging hard, Jeff Ward from California. 7 times an American champion, Jeff Ward. And there he is on the Kawasaki, number 3. The Frenchman is really providing the fireworks, Philippe Bettis. We don't see much of him. We're not used to seeing him in this sort of company, but he's really forcing Ward to work hard. But Jeff Ward has got past. Ward then is up into third. Guy Cooper is in second place, but the race leader, number 8, Jean-Michel Bayle, is away safely, coming down towards us now. Over the whoops, he did the double beautifully. Ward and Cooper then, this battle is going to be about second place. 29 years of age, Jeff Ward, a wealth of experience, nicknamed Wardy. Ahead of him, number 5, Guy Cooper. From Stillwater, Oklahoma, he's 28. Started his professional motocross career in 1982. And he's the 125cc outdoor motocross champion in 1990. But turns his hand beautifully to indoor supercross, and we have indoor supercross of the very best and very highest quality here from the Bercy Stadium on the Saturday night. This, a tremendous build-up, and we have the very best yet to come, of course. Finals in both the 125 and 250cc classes. As number 18 sidelined there, Jean-Charles Tournus, the Swiss, fires it up and goes again. But we are with the race leader under the tunnel, Jean-Michel Bayle, number 8 on the Honda, underlining just how effective his displays on the first 2 evenings of this event were. Invincible again, Jean-Michel Bayle receives the adoration of the crowd. Guy Cooper, number 5, gets second, almost over the handlebars, and number 3, Jeff Ward on the Kawasaki, takes third. Honda won, Suzuki was second, and Kawasaki third. No success so far for the Europeans on the KTMs. Jean-Michel Bayle, the hand goes out. Guy Cooper knows that he's going to be a hard man to beat, but is Cooper saving something for the final? Tournus in all sorts of trouble, and he crashes in a big way. The Swiss, not so lucky this time in the Saturday heat 2 of the 250s. There's the race winner, Jean-Michel Bayle on the Honda. There was absolutely no touching him. Just look at that height. Cooper fought second, Ward, Pedro Tractor, and Edwin Evertson, the 2 Dutchmen, learning the Supercross technique very well, go through to the final. It is going to be a battle royal in the final, there's no question about that. The also-rans, if I could call them that, Thierry Bettis, who had such a blinding start, Davy Strybos, Reinhardt from the UK, Kervala, King from New Zealand, and poor Tournus over the fence. Don't go away then, the 125cc final comes after the break. That's going to be gripping action, because we're watching now the rundown to the final. Coming up then, the 125 final. Don't miss it after the break. 125s then, the final now. 15 laps will be the distance. The riders will have to pace themselves just that little bit more, and I will have to pace myself just that little bit more as well, because almost twice the distance. A lot of points at stake here. This, the final, will mean 20 points for the win, 17 for second, 15 for third, and so on all the way down to last place, where a handful of points will go forward to be added to tomorrow night's score. But I remind you that the action we have here is from the Saturday night of the Paris Supercross from Bercy, and was the very best from the 4 nights on the program. Spectacular then. Stefan Everts, watch for him, number 2. He didn't shine in the heat, but he might well do so in the final. Also number 3, Rob Herring. Mike Craig, number 9. Just watch this one go. A lot of these men used to riding 250s and 125s, and the modern 125cc motocross bike delivers an enormous amount of brake horsepower, but is different to ride in terms of the power characteristics that the engine delivers. They need to be ridden much more on the high rev range, and a little bit of clutch slipping out of the turns, and ridden, generally speaking, in lower gears then. 15 seconds to go before the gate. The tension building, not just on the track, but here in the commentary box as well. Heads down. bit of creeping forwards, but the gate goes. They're all safely away as they clatter over the gate. The 1-2-5 final from Bercy is underway in spectacular style. Number 30 leading the charge, Frédéric Vial, the Frenchman. This will really turn the crowd into somersaults if the Frenchman on the Kawasaki can hold this sort of pace for the whole of the race. Breathing down his neck is Buddy Antunez from California, the American, right there on the inside, Bob Moore on the KTM. So the KTM rider is in fourth now. Rob Herring it is in third, number 3. So the Northampton-based 22-year-old Herring, who spent most of his formative years in South Africa, currently the 125cc championship holder, is over the handlebars. Goes Frédéric Vial in a big way, and that was too much enthusiasm. He was really fired up there, but he couldn't hold the pace. He got it wrong and went in terrific style over the handlebars, fortunately without injury. Waiting to pick up the second place man, and that looks as though that will be Buddy Antunez now. Stefan Everts, you're watching him, number 2. There's Rob Herring, number 3 on the Suzuki. Stefan Everts, there's the race leader, number 6. Buddy Antunez from California, the former USA Junior champion on mini bikes, has used that technique beautifully to adapt to Supercross, and he's still only 17 years of age. Buddy Antunez from Ontario, California, leading Britain's Rob Herring, number 3. Right behind Rob Herring then is Stefan Everts, son of the former 250cc world champion Harry Everts, who rode Pook in those days. And Stefan Everts is closing on Herring. Can Rob Herring hold off the challenge from Stefan Everts, and in so doing wind in the race leader? This is the second place man, number 3, Rob Herring. Current 125cc British champion, former 250cc British champion, is coming under real pressure now from number 2, Stefan Everts. Just 18 years of age, Everts, from Belgium. Third in the 125cc World Championship this year, Stefan Everts. And he's putting that experience and that speed to great demonstration here, because he's almost alongside Rob Herring. The battle very much alive for second and third. Herring going the wide line round. Stefan Everts looking tight on the inside. And this battle is drawing them closer and closer to the race leader. Can Herring hold the pace? Can he just keep going? Will those forearms of his stand up throughout the duration of this one? A brilliant future this youngster has. 8th in the 250cc World Championship in 1990, Rob Herring. Look at Everts. Everts now right on the back wheel of Antunez. So Stefan Everts is right with him. Herring has gone, the battle for the lead. Stefan Everts and Buddy Antunez. Everts on the BF Suzuki, team manager Sylvain Gabors, brother of Eric Gabors, of course, 5 times world champion, is the manager of this man who's just taken the lead. Stefan Everts has gone through. Number 2 then, Stefan Everts from Belgium, has gone past the American in brilliant style, and the crowd love it. They want to see the American domination of this event broken, and they could well see the 125 title go to Stefan Everts, number 2. Powering the Suzuki's round, both of them well into this final now. Still a long, long way to go. Antunez now slowing just a little bit as Everts gallops round, coming up behind the tail enders, and this will be a tricky moment for Stefan Everts if he starts lapping. He seems to have perfect technique, high in the air, beautiful poise, and the Suzuki responding in impeccable fashion for Stefan Everts. Buddy Antunez still right there, number 6, but this the battle for the lead. And the lead now is stretching ever so slightly as they go out of the arena into the service tunnel. Back from the service tunnel into the arena to the rapturous applause of the crowd. They are fanatical in support of motocross here in France. And the Bercy Stadium at Paris absolutely no exception. The litter you can see on the circuit is paper cups which have been thrown by the enthusiastic supporters, or polystyrene cups, down onto the circuit. Everts over the double jump nicely. The track has stayed in prime condition. John Savitsky, the man who built and designed the circuit, in conjunction with a Frenchman, Jean-Luc Fouché, the man who built the circuit from the French point of view, was actually injured on Wednesday night, standing by the circuit, was hit by a bike and his wrist was broken. So that's what the riders think of his circuit. But look at Evans, he's wrapping this one up nicely. The crowd absolutely delirious, they love it. And coming back is Antunes, challenging hard. So the American has got second wind. He's winding the Suzuki on. In pursuit now, Stefan Everts. Can Everts hold him off? It's come alive again at the front. The checkered flag is out for Stefan Everts, who gets it. So Everts wins the Saturday final. Buddy Antunes gave up the scrap in the last turn, cruised home for second place. That indeed was a magnificent 125cc final. And what great action that was. We'll await confirmation of the lower places. Race leader Stefan Everts in a very eventful 125cc final. The BF of Suzuki, team manager Sylvain Gabors, putting things together nicely for him. Got Stefan Everts the win from Buddy Antunes. Rob Herring, a distant third, just couldn't hold on to the pace. Denny Stevenson on another Suzuki was fourth. Jeff Emig and Warren Edwards from Great Britain. So two Brits in the top six, not bad at all. Superb performance by Stefan Everts then. The man he wore down is the second man in your picture now, number 6, Buddy Antunes. On his right, number 3, Rob Herring, and that is what gave the win, or rather the lead, to Antunes, as the early leader went over the handlebars. Stefan Everts then, his father will indeed be proud of him. What a superb win in the 125 final. The best is yet to come. The 250s then after the break. Don't go away, come back to Paris. Welcome back to the Bercy Stadium here in Paris for the grand finale of the Saturday night action, the 250 final. Will Bale win, or will the Americans steal this one from him? 18 laps will be the distance, so a long, long way to go in this one. Everybody has to ride steadily. There's no chance of getting back in the running if you fall off. Look for Jean-Michel Bale riding number 8. Jeff Stanton, of course, his main rival, who has won here on previous occasions. Jeff Ward, the old master. Edwin Evertson and Pedro Tractor will always spring a surprise, as will number 9, Yves de Maria, the local favourite. Number 14, Doug Dubach, also the American there with a German-sounding name, not to be left out of the equation. And watch for Yannick Kerveler. 18 laps then. 2,000 cubic yards of circuit here about to be put to the most demanding test of all when the 250s go. Such is the height of these bikes, as you can see, that the riders need a little block to sit on the thing and keep it upright. 30 seconds to go. Someone watching the action. The riders intent on the first turn, however, as lots of things go on in the center of the arena. Into the last 5. The first left-hander will be the demanding test, and it's a question of whether Jean-Michel Bale can get the whole shot. And a brilliant start, but he was boxed out. Tactics there meant that the American-based Frenchman couldn't hit turn 1 squarely. It's Guy Cooper, number 5. Airtime Cooper is in second place. Ahead of him, Jeff Ward on the Kawasaki. Then it's number 8, Jean-Michel Bale in third. Then 14, Doug Dubach, the Californian. So Americans in first, second and fourth places, with a Frenchman riding number 8, Jean-Michel Bale in third. We saw a great performance from Guy Cooper, number 5, in his heat, and he knows what he has to do in this 18-lap final. That's being denied him at the moment, though, by Jeff Ward, number 3, as Bale goes through to the cheers of the crowd. But Cooper fighting back side by side. Jean-Michel Bale, number 8, and Guy Cooper disputing second place. Cooper has had to settle for third. Bale is really on form. He now has to set about the man ahead of him. Let's have a little wager, shall we, as to whether Jean-Michel Bale can get past Jeff Ward. He's really doing it well. Looking up alongside, he couldn't believe it when Cooper went past in the air. Well, that was great stuff. Guy Cooper did the double jump in one hit there and passed Jean-Michel Bale in the air and caused the Frenchman to look up left in astonishment. Bale then down in third. So the Americans really making him work this time. Still a long, long way to go, and there will be 1 or 2 pit signals as Cooper steps off the bike in the full flow of action, ran alongside in a vain attempt to get back on, and ended up throwing it away. Well, terrific stuff. Jean-Michel Bale then in second place. In third place, it looked like Edwin Evertson, and I'll tell you that as soon as I can firm up on the numbers. But Jean-Michel Bale is having to work for that second place. They are really putting him under pressure. It's Doug Duback, number 14, in third. There he is, and he's closing. So Doug Duback, number 14, in third place. Number 8, Jean-Michel Bale, is in second still. And Jeff Stanton in fourth, number 1. Look at Duback go. So Doug Duback on the Yamaha from the USA, 27 years of age, is really scorching on. And he's closing by the second on Jean-Michel Bale, and has really got the bit between his teeth. Can Bale keep him at bay? So the scrap for second place then. Number 8 in second, Jean-Michel Bale. Doug Duback, number 14, is still with him. Out in the lead is Jeff Ward, number 3. So Wardy on the Kawasaki it is, but the battle further down the order for second, unbelievably quick, between this man and this man, Jean-Michel Bale, number 8, and Doug Duback. Duback, known as Dr. D by all his friends, colleagues and supporters, from Chino, California, another one of the American Supercross stars. There's the race leader, number 3. Jeff Ward is on the Kawasaki, but the scrap for second, third and fourth places pulling him ever closer. Bale seems to have broken the toe from Duback and is piling on the coals, but there's a tail-ender ahead of Jeff Ward. I can hardly hear myself think here with the crowd. They're really rising to this one. That's what they've paid their money for, and they're not being disappointed. Unbelievable! Jeff Ward stepped off 30 feet up in the air because he knew he made a mistake. He'd got it wrong on the takeoff, and he dismounted. What presence of mind the American had. He dismounted from the Kawasaki 30 feet up because he knew he'd got it wrong. So the new race leader, Jean-Michel Bale, has another tumble behind him. Almost brings Duback off, and that's Jeff Stanton. So they're falling right, left and centre here. The crowd really getting their money's worth in this 250 final. Brilliant stuff from the Bercy Stadium. This is Supercross at its very best. Jean-Michel Bale then, out in the lead, looking relatively unchallenged as Doug Duback powers on to second place. Well, I've got to call it here because the pace, not just on the track, but in the commentary box, is totally frenetic and really out of order. There, Jeff Ward, number 3, regained his composure, not at all shaken by that amazing get-off. He will have won the hearts of the crowds for that one, but not nearly so much as this man, the French favourite, who looks oh so likely now to be the first non-American to win the Paris Supercross in its 8-year history. The American domination of the event looks like being broken by Jean-Michel Bale, former 125cc, former 250cc world champion. Number 8 in your picture. What a super race he's had, and what an amazing string of good and bad fortune to the other riders, which resulted in Jean-Michel Bale being here in the top slot in the 250 final. Under the tunnel, Doug Duback, number 14, still in second place. The third place man very much more distant as Dubac cruising home on the Yamaha. The distinctive colouring of the 1990 Yamahas. Number 9 coming, a mighty furler there, Yves de Maria, the Frenchman, and he was in third place. So those ripples catching out one rider after another. De Maria, it was the latest to fall foul of the whoops and nearly bashed his teeth out on the handlebars, it looked, from where I was sitting. Race leader number 8, the Honda meet in the Kawasaki sandwich as one falls in front of him. So Yannick Kerbeler falls off the Kawasaki and nearly costs Jean-Michel Bayle the race win. Just shows how easy it is to get into trouble when you're riding around minding your own business. People turn upside down in front of you. Yves de Maria from Marseille then is going again. He was in third place. I'm not sure if he was able to remount and get going in third. I think at least Jeff Stanton came past him to steal third place. So de Maria, every bit as stylish, and I said earlier on in the programme that if he didn't fall off, he could be a race winner. He certainly has got the speed, this boy, but he does do some silly things. He's also lost his goggles in that tumble. But de Maria, number 9, still riding round. He's keeping it going. He knows there are points at stake, and there's still another night of the proceedings to come as far as he's concerned. But if Jean-Michel Bayle can win this one, and we promised you the very best of the action, and I have to say that we've delivered it. What a great final this 250 has been. Yves de Maria, the 125cc Grand Prix campaigner, getting it all wrong again and stepping off the Suzuki, laying it down. The frustration evident as the race leader, Jean-Michel Bayle, number 8, powers on, nearly collecting the cameraman with him. High over the double, clears it with no trouble at all. Bayle heading for the King of Bercy title, the first European so-to-do ever in the history of the event. And the crowd, well, they might well make him a national hero after this. Give him the keys to the city if he hasn't got them already. He defected for 2 seasons to the USA to pursue his motocross over there and did very well in the outdoor series, winning a 250cc national championship in the States the same year that he clinched the 250cc World Championship. But he's lapping number 33, Philippe Gailly, fellow countryman. Move over, Philippe, don't for goodness sake cost me the win in this one. It's been hectic enough as it is. I just wonder if the champagne corks will pop at the end of this for Jean-Michel Bayle, because what an incredible, this will be his 3rd final win on the trot, having won beautifully the first 2 nights. He really only needed to win this one, and I think the title of the King of Bercy is as good as his. The only American maybe who can do something about it would be Jeff Stanton, who is currently lying, as far as I can ascertain, about 3rd in this race. The crowd love it. There could be no finer winner as far as they are concerned here on home terrain. Jean-Michel Bayle cruising home, has got time to glance over the shoulder and perform some acrobatics for the crowd. Guy Cooper, number 5, having retired, is now out of the running, and what a great race he put up in the early stages as well as in his heat. The climax of a fantastic evening's entertainment here from the Bercy Stadium in Paris sees Jean-Michel Bayle, number 8, take the win. Number 14, Dubac, the German, come over. We're waiting for Stanton. A lot of lapped riders in there. No doubt about the winner, though. Jean-Michel Bayle, number 8, took a scintillating 3rd final win on the trot in Paris. Be interesting to see where Yves de Maria finished after pitching spectacularly and also dumping the thing on a right-handed turn. Something of a lap scorer's nightmare, I would imagine, this one. But there's your winner. Guy Cooper, not able to hold the bucking Suzuki. He's in trouble from this moment. Vainly trying to hang on. He's not going to let go. He just hopes that maybe he can spring back into the saddle. But Susie says no.
Bien évidemment, un podium sans que pour moins de
Well, we could be minutes and minutes and minutes showing you some of the highlight crashes. This is Yves de Maria getting it wrong. And you see what I mean about his head going down, almost knocked his teeth out on the handlebars. And he crashed in mighty fashion there, just in exactly the same place as Guy Cooper got it wrong. But here's the winner, Jean-Michel Bayle, number 8 on the Honda. Stanton it was who took third. Dubac, we know, was second. Yves de Maria still got fourth, a great result. What a difference it would have been if he hadn't crashed twice. Edwin Evertson and Pedro Tractor, the two Dutchmen, taking 5th and 6th places. Guy Cooper was credited with 10th, despite the fact he almost retired. Yannick Kerveler, Philippe Gailly, and poor Jeff Ward, number 12. So this is what it's all about. The final having been won by Jean-Michel Bayle, collecting the adulation of the supporters here at the Paris Bercy Stadium. The champagne, I'm sure, will come afterwards. But the King of Bercy title going to Jean-Michel Bayle, the first time it's ever been won by a non-American. Supercross then fast becoming a legend now in motorcycle sport. It's what the closed season is all about. The razzmatazz, it's what the crowds want. Next time we go Supercross racing here on Eurosport, don't miss it. Whatever you do, it can always be as fast and furious as it has been tonight from Bercy. This is Barry Nutley saying thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again.